What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be showing you how you can recreate this design here in Flutter. So before I begin, I'd like to thank this website here for the design. And right off the bat, we can notice a couple of things. So first thing I see is this bottom navigation bar here. Additionally, we have this top app bar with an app drawer, and we have some actions over here on the top right. Next, we have this section here, which kind of extends the app bar, and then we have this body section here with various cards. So in this video, we are going to build everything out except for these cards. I'll save that for the part 2 of this video series. So as always, all of the code for these videos can be found in my GitHub, and the link to that will be in the description of this video. First thing that I'm going to do is create a new Flutter project. So we can use the command flutter create, and I will name this app travel. Just like that. Alright, perfect. So that was created. Next, let's cd into the app and list everything out. And then let's open all of this in Visual Studio Code. Code in VS Code here on the right, and my iOS simulator on the left. So this is just the standard Flutter starter code. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove most of this all the way up to here. Okay, so we just have our Flutter material.dart import, we have our main function, and then our class named myApp, which extends a stateless widget. So let's add back in our override, and then we need our build widget. So we can say widget build. We'll pass in our build context, and then we will return our material app. Okay, just like that. So first we need to set our home. So we can set home for now as just a text widget. Okay, just like that. And then when we refresh this, there we go. So we get our home. Now what we're going to do is we don't want to set home to this text. We're going to set home to navigation. And we have not created this yet, but this will be a stateful widget that has our bottom navigation bar. So let's go ahead and create that. So let's go over here, and we're going to create a new folder in lib, and we'll call this components. And then from here, we can create a new file called navigation.dart. And then inside of this will be a stateful widget. So first, let's import our material.dart, so package flutter/material.dart, just like that. And then we can create a stateful widget by typing st and then tab on stateful. And we can name this navigation. So just like that. Now this is still giving us an error because we need to import it. So we can say import package colon, and then our app name, so for me it's travel, slash components slash navigation.dart. Now there's no error, and this is working. So we have a black screen now. Now the last thing I'm going to do in main.dart for the entire tutorial is remove this debug. So here we're going to say debug show checked mode banner and set that to false. So now that should be gone, and then we can close out of main.dart. Okay, so here we don't want to return a container, we want to return a scaffold, just like that. And now our screen is now white instead of black, and then in here we can name a couple of different things, such as our drawer or our app bar, and then our body. For now, let's just set the body to a text widget home. Okay, and as you see, it's up there. So we need to change that a little bit. But the first thing we're going to do is build out our bottom navigation bar. So let's first build out the bottom navigation bar widget, and then we will add the logic behind it. So in our scaffold, we can say bottom navigation bar, and we can set that equal to a bottom navigation bar, just like that. And that takes in a couple of different properties. We will pass in the items, and we haven't created this yet, but this will be equal to const bottom navigation bar item, and this will be a list. So we'll pass in a list just like that. Now we can format that up. Perfect. And inside of here, we can pass in the bottom navigation bar item widget, just like that. And then this takes in 4 different parameters, or 4 different properties, but we are just going to pass in the icon and the title because those are required. So for the icon, what I want to do is actually use font awesome icons, because the standard Cupertino icons that Dart and Flutter give us, these ones right here, they don't offer that a good variety. So let's go grab the font awesome icons. So you can simply open up a browser and search up Flutter font awesome, and then go to the first link here. It'll be this pub.dev link, and you can go to installing, and this is how you install it. So we'll copy that and paste it right underneath here. Let's remove these comments. Okay, just like that. And then after you do that, you can run flutter pub get. So I'm going to open up a terminal, run flutter pub get, and there we go. Perfect. So now we can close that out. And if you go back here to the README and scroll down, you can see how you use it. So basically you just do icon, and then FA icon, and then pass in font awesome icons dot, and then whatever icon you want to use. And before we add the icon down here, we need to import it, so we can paste in this package here. And now when we come back down here, we can say icon, and that is equal to FA. There we go, we get the suggested one here, FA icon, and then we can pass in font awesome icons dot, and we'll use globe, just like that. And then we still get an error because we need our bottom navigation bar length to be greater than 2. So, or sorry, greater or equal to 2. So let's just for now copy this again. So we'll copy and we'll paste this here, and we still get an error because we need the title. So let's just set the title equal to an empty text widget. We'll do the same for this one. Now we should not be getting any errors, so let's refresh. There we go. Took a little bit, but now we have this. And if you get these question marks for the font awesome icons, simply stop and rerun the app. Okay, so as you can see, our app is now running again, and the icons are showing. So we need 5 of these, so let me copy this and then paste one more. So now we have 5 icons, and you'll notice that you can't see them that well anymore, but they are still there. So we need to use some of the properties on this bottom navigation bar and style this a little bit. So we'll come down here, right outside of the item list, and here it takes some properties. So first, let's say unselected font size. We'll set that to 0.0 because we don't have any text. And then the selected font size will also be 0.0. So next, let's change the colors. So we have properties selected icon or selected item color. So we can change this to colors dot, we'll say pink 400. So when the icon is selected, this will be the color, just like that. Then we also have unselected item color. Item color, we'll set this to colors.gray. Just like that. Perfect. And then we can set the background color to colors.gray 850. And this is the background color of the entire navigation bar. And that's not coming through right now because we need to give this navigation bar a type. So we can say type, and we can give it fixed, just like that. So now it's coming through, and there we go. So it's working. It's looking pretty good. Last thing, we're going to give, or a couple more things. We're going to say elevation is equal to 0.0, and that's this top here. And then let's give an icon size to 30.0. There we go, so a little bigger. And that's all we're going to do for now. So next we need to add the logic behind this bottom navigation bar. So let's go up to the top here, and all we're going to do is right here, class navigation state. Underneath here, we are going to declare an integer for the selected index. And we're going to default that to 0. So basically, each one of these list items has an index. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And depending on what the user clicks on, that is what we will show here. So that's what this variable is. And then now we need a list of widget options that correspond to this index. And this list of widget options will hold what's being shown. So for example, if we had a list of text widgets for each of these, when you click here, it will show the text widget corresponding to the index of the selected index in the list. So let me show you what I mean. Let's say static list. This is a list of widgets. We'll call this widget options, and this will be equal to widget and a list, just like that. Close it off with a semicolon, and then inside of here we can pass in all of the elements. So first I'm going to say text and give this home. So the first index corresponds to this, which will be the home screen. And I'm going to go one step further and wrap this in a center widget, just like that. And then we're going to do that for each one. So I'll paste that 4 times. So we have home, we have rewards. Okay, so that's good. And then next what we want to do is we want a method that will set the state and change what is shown to the user based on the selected index. So we can come up here and let's create a method with a return type void. We'll call this onItemTap. So onItemTapped, pass in the index, which is this. And then in here, we're going to simply set the state, and then we're going to set the selected index equal to the index passed in, just like that. Now for the body, we don't want to return this static home text. Instead, we want to return the index as the selected index and the children as the widget options. So both of these. And I'm actually going to wrap that in what is called an indexed stack. And this will maintain the state as you switch between the elements in the bottom navigation bar. Okay, so we have that. Now, as you see, it takes in a couple properties. So we'll pass in the index as the selected index, and then we will pass in children. And this will not be equal to that widget list because we already have that up here. But we'll pass in this instead. There we go. We'll format that up. Okay, perfect. And now, as you see, home screen, because we were on the first index. But you'll notice we can't actually click on anything else yet, and that's because we need to add these. We need to add this method to these properties down here for the bottom navigation bar. So I'm going to come right below the type, and I'm going to say current index, and that will be equal to the selected index. And then we want to say on tap, and when the user taps, we want to call the on item tapped method. Just like that. Now, when we go back here, we should be able to click on each of the elements and get a different text, as you see. So home, explore, rewards, and messages, and profile. So now let's change these icons just so they're different. So now these are looking pretty nice, and they correspond to the UI that we are building. So the next step is to add the app bar at the top. So to do that, we can come up here, and right before the body, we can add the app bar. So I'm going to say app bar, and I could say app bar widget and build it in here, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to say this is equal to app bar, and this will be a component widget that I create. And then we're going to do the same for drawer. This will be equal to drawer, and we will also create the drawer. So that's all we need for this navigation. So let's go ahead and create both of these things. So up here in the components, let's create a new file, and we can name one AppBar underscore bar.dart, and the next we will rename drawer.dart. So we'll look at the AppBar first, and let's import these in here so we can see in real time the changes. So we'll say import package colon, and then the name of our app, so travel, slash components, slash AppBar, and we'll copy this, and we'll say drawer. Just like that. Now, we are still getting errors because we haven't built anything yet, so let's just first import this material.dart package for each of them. And then for building widgets in other files, all you're going to do is say widget, the name of the widget, so we named ours AppBar, and then braces just like that. And then here you can return whatever widgets you want. So we will return the AppBar widget just like that. And we'll copy this and paste it here. But here we want this to be named drawer, and we will return a drawer. So now, as you see, we get our drawer that we can hit and the AppBar. Okay, so we'll work in the appbar.dart file first. So inside of here, we want to do a couple of basic things. So we will set the elevation to 0. We'll set the background color to colors.gray. Oops. Background color to colors.gray. And this will be a dark gray, so 850. There we go. And then we will set the title to center, and then a child of text, just like so. And this text will be home. There we go. And we'll fix this formatting, or the centering of that after. And then we're going to go down here, and for the top actions, we can pass those in as a property called actions, and that will take in a list of various widgets. So we just want 2 icon buttons, so we'll say icon button, and then the icon will be icons dot, and the first one we want is search. There we go. Now we have the search button, and then we need the onPressed function, so we can just do that. So this just does nothing, and then you can replace this with whatever you want to do. Format that up, and we'll copy this and paste one more. And this icon will be the notifications, so we can just do that. And again, nothing for the onPressed. Okay, now we have that. And let's add some padding up here. So we'll add padding around the text widget. So we can right click, go to refactor, and wrap with padding. And now this gives us this default. So we're going to change that to from left top right bottom. And then we're going to say 40, and then the rest will be 0, just like that. Now we have this home centered, and the app bar is built. And you can click on these icons. Right now they don't do anything, but you can change that easily by changing this onPressed property. Okay, so that's good. Now let's work on the drawer. So the drawer works, it pops out. Let's just add some basic styling to this. So inside of this drawer, let's give it a child element of a container, so that we can now change the color. And we'll give this colors.gray 400, just like that. Perfect. Format that up. And then we can give it a child, and this will be a column. Pass in a list of widgets, and now you can pass in whatever widgets you want that will be inside of here. But the first thing that I want to do is I want to pass in a drawer header. So let's wrap this in a container. We'll give it a height of 100, and it will be a widget of, child will be a drawer header, just like that. And now this takes a child, so we can pass in center, and then give that a child of text. And this will be the text that is up here. We can just say travel app, but this can be changed to whatever you want it to be. We'll format that up, and there we go. Let's give that some styling, so we can say style text style, and we will give it a color of colors.white. Okay, perfect. So that's looking a little better. So let's give that some decoration as well. So we can drop right at the end here, outside the center, but still inside the drawer header widget. And we can give it some decoration. So we'll give it box decoration. And we'll give it a color of colors.gray. This will be gray 850. Alright, there we go. So that looks a little better. And then like I said, you can add whatever you want in here by simply coming outside of this container here and adding anything. So for example, we can add a text widget and say, maybe this is additional navigation. So we can do that. And then that comes like this. So you can add whatever you want here. Okay, so that's all we're going to do for the drawer. So as you can see now, we have this built out. So we'll close out of both of those. Okay, so next, from here, what you can do is start building out the screens. So the screen that we're going to build out is this Explore screen. So to do that, I'm going to come into our widget list here and change this text from just a simple text widget to a widget that we are going to create. So we'll name this Explore. And this will be a class that we create. So let's do that now. Let's go into our files and let's create another folder called Screens. There we go. And let's create a file called explore_screen.dart. Now here is where we will write code for this screen here. So let's import this screen in the navigation file. We'll say import package, name of our app, and then this is in the screens, explore screen.dart. There we go. Now we can delete this because we're done with it. And then here, like I said, this will be a class that extends a stateless widget. So let's first import our material.dart package. That's from package Flutter / material.dart. And then let's create our class with a name of Explore. That will extend a stateless widget, just like that. Let's create our override, and then our widget build, pass in our build context as context, and there we go. And we can return whatever we want. We'll return a container first. Now if we put a text widget in here and say our new Explore screen, make sure that is the child element, this should change here. Refresh. Let's do a hard refresh. Okay, home, and there we go, our new Explore screen. So this is coming through. So now let's build out the screen.